Summertime and the
And
living
the living's easy.
Bradley's on the microphone with Rock and G.
What's up?
Hi, Pop
Hey.
Girlies. Are you doing time?
Back together again.
We're back again.
And now
Maria's
it
here.
really is family
Well,
now.
It's just family.
Maria was here last week too. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's family again, part two.
Yeah.
Part two, the
The
sequel,
remix.
the re-up.
The
Yeah.
rusical.
The Rusical.
Well, what now?
Well, how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm
Doing,
hot. That's what
yeah.
I'm hot. We got to get
It's hot AF out.
No, I'm done with the heat. I'm done with the hot. I'm done with the sweat. I'm done with the humidity. I'm done with the sky. I'm done with all of it. And I'm done with
You're
the
done with the
AC in my
sky.
building not being cold. That's what we really got to do. Everybody write. Well, I'm not going to say the company that I was going to give my address. I'm not
Levi
going to.
drops his address. Well, yeah,
Okay,
let's get rid
well,
of
we're
all this
here.
hot weather.
We're here. We're here with
Okay,
part three of
so
August.
it is week 3 of August, and this week I get to bring a fave guest, friend of the pod. So the guest this week will be Bestie Messiah, Miss Queen Melissa. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Everybody, I'm so excited and so nervous.
Melissa
I'm
is friend
good.
of the pod, we're work besties.
Hmm.
So, and we became really close, and she, of course, listens to the pod. Fellow Swiftie, what does
Fellow
Lana
everything.
call?
See, I actually, before this, I had to Google it because I feel like Lana fans are just like too cool for that kind of thing. And I didn't really find any like true defined, other than maybe like Lanatics was like the most popular one. But then I thought of one.
Ooh.
I
You
thought
thought
of
of
one and
one.
I was like,
What is it?
Lana Gators.
Oh
Oh,
my
Okay.
God,
So
what?
good.
Like, we're Lana Gators.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Okay.
that's all.
That
All
is
things
so
considered.
good.
I mean, my hot track pertains to how good you are at coming up
Oh
with
my God.
names.
Love.
So,
Okay. Okay.
we'll get there. Speaking of, do
So
we
good.
want to get into the hot tracks?
Yeah, let's do our hot track.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Melissa,
Okay.
why don't you go first?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have been thinking about this for months, to be honest with you. So the idea that I was just like casually listening to the song over the past week, like how hot tracks are maybe supposed to be, is
Yeah.
that's not really accurate. But there were so many like lines of thought I had while trying to pick one. So one was at first I was really considering doing an Evermore song because Live, I don't remember if you remember when you literally were like, Evermore stands should like all be reported missing by their loved ones and then like found in
Wait,
the
no, no.
forest
I,
48
I
hours
I
later.
support your right to be
Hmm.
wrong. I think you like it's being funded by like big pharma or something. Like I just don't think it's real. It's
Girl, I
the that and the
literally,
anthology. It's like I just don't believe
Oh,
I love it.
like
Literally when I,
she's cute, but gorgeous is gonna, devour
Devour.
cute.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Well, yeah, so I was thinking that and then I was like, I'm going to give you a little bit of a pass because the whole reason you even brought up Evermore was to put the title track Evermore on as your hot track
yeah.
that
Yeah.
episode. Um uh,
She's kind of
yeah.
like a pop release historian.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
you
much.
are a historian. You are.
Yeah, it's like archive type thing.
The
Um,
And the Pop Girlies archive is like an office that you can visit at the Pop Girlie Stadium.
yes.
Yes,
museum.
at the Pop Girlie Stadium.
Oh my God.
New lore.
Yeah. So then I really thought I was like, you know what? There is just like a 1 in a million chance that eventually Lana herself could like look up Norman Rockwell on Spotify and find this episode and she could be listening. So I was like, I need to find one of my favorite songs that like connects the two of us. So I had it locked and loaded for a while on an artist that everyone knows that Lana loves her. She has a tattoo inspired by her. And then, like in my research, and then it flipped at the last minute. In my research this week, For all the stuff about Lana, I got so hard into Joni Mitchell, you guys.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So it's a Joni Mitchell song.
Oh.
I
Oh,
was just jamming.
that's so good.
I was jamming to Ladies of the Canyon all week while I was like doing all this research as it
Never
pertains to
listened.
Norman. Really? Yeah, it's so good. And so I am gonna do the title track, Ladies of the Canyon, from her third album. It
That's
is
a great
Oh,
so good. It's beautiful. It's so like lighthearted. You can just like feel yourself in Laurel Canyon at the time. She's talking
yeah.
about like three women who all are like these free-spirited women who live in the canyon, and one like bakes brownies, and the other one is like a circus performer. And
Love.
yeah,
That's so Lana.
yeah, it is so long.
Lana Gator.
Totally. So Lana Gator.
Well, because also
Yeah.
from that album, For Free is on that album, which she covers
Yes.
on
Oh,
Covers.
yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
which is a great
Wow.
cover. That's one of my favorite Lana.
Yeah, it's
Maybe my
beautiful.
favorite Lana cover. Lana's great at covers,
Oh,
but I love
she's
that.
great.
She's so good at covers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait, choose someone to go.
Oh, okay. Okay, Maria. Right.
Yay. Okay. So to introduce my hot track, I'll first pose a question. What do we all know that's never ending?
Never really
Oh,
over
this
Katie.
The Midnight Sun.
Something that never ends is a midnight sun.
Oh,
So that is my
I
hot track.
thought never really over.
Oh, that's crazy you would think
You
that
bet you.
with being the shirt that you're wearing, girl.
Well, that's already been a hot track. Didn't I already do
Oh,
that?
yes,
Yeah.
you already did it.
You can't
Sorry.
repeat her story.
No.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super into the Midnight Sun song by Miss Zara Larsson. I've like never listened to her music ever before. Like otherwise, or well, like unless it's been like literally just out in the world. Like that one song of hers, that Lush Life song, was like huge, huge, huge. It has like a billion streams or something. So
Never forget you.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
What are you talking?
you
What is
know,
that?
do you know that song? That I will never forget you. That
Oh
song?
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's Zara.
I feel like she's the ultimate artist where you're like looking at her song titles and you're like, I've never heard a single one of these before. And then someone sings it and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Have you ever
you
heard
know?
Pretty Ugly?
No.
Alex Wishi made me stream the fuck out of that. It's the worst shit I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, he loves Zara.
Horrible. Oh, he loves Zara Larson. It's
Tea. Well, I hope
humiliating.
well, I hope at least me giving this one song by her flowers gives him some joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat your
But
crumbs,
Oh,
Alex.
yeah.
here's your food.
Here's your food.
Like, I don't know. But I think the song's really fun. And obviously her vocals are amazing. But the tweets have been really funny talking about her opening for Tate
Tate.
McRae because everyone's
Yes.
like, "Oh my God, this is like having like Beyonce open for like I don't know." And they would just like name some Kia artists and like it was just funny.
I
But
know. And
yeah,
then I saw another one. It was like Zara Larson releases like one listenable song, and all of a sudden people are getting bold.
Yeah.
it's like everyone's like defending her like with I don't know. It's just like it like
As
exactly.
if Tate McRae. I mean, trust me, I'm not a Tate McRae defender, but
You're not a tater.
she's got the hits. I mean, she's hits. She has hits.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Zara doesn't? Let's just say that.
No.
Well,
Well,
shout out to that Midnight Sun because it's never ending and I'm loving that song.
Okay, Maria, pick someone to go.
Levi.
Levi.
I'll go. So I know last week, obviously, we talked about rumors, but I am just really still in Stevie mood. I've been listening to a lot of her Fleetwood Mac stuff. I've been listening to a lot of her solo stuff, and I'm gonna go with the song from their album Mirage, which is called That's All Right. It's like very much a deep cut, but it is this like beautiful kind of like country twangy song. I think she sounds so good on it. I think the guitar playing is so good. It's just been stuck in my head constantly. And she's just like one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite vocalists. I think she has one of the most distinct voices in music. Like I can't think of anybody
Yeah.
who has a
Mhm.
tonal quality the way that she does. And her imagery is incredible in her writing. I think she is such a cool and important like figure in music history. I think she really kind of broke a lot of barriers as like a woman rock and roll star. So yeah, love love Stevie, and
And
that's
she looks like Clara Bow.
and she
In
looks
that
like
light.
Clara Bow. She looks like Clara Bow, remarkable. Okay, I'm gonna go eeny, meeny, miny, Drew.
Okay, T. So I was gonna do a Gracie song because I'm still just in such a Gracie fucking mood. But I was then reminded and I was like, what? Melissa can't come here and I not do an anthology song.
Oh my God. Stop.
Which I don't
That
think we've
fills me
had
up
an
with joy.
anthology song as a hot track yet.
Yeah, Black Dog. Levi did Black Dog.
Yeah, get your fucking facts straight.
Well, anyways, so another thing that Melissa and I bond over is our love for Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh my God, obviously. Yes.
Um, and this week, when this episode airs, and just like that will be over.
And possibly Carrie Bradshaw as we know her, basically.
So, my hot track is How Did It End? Because I've really been getting into that song. And there's a really great montage in an episode of And Just Like That to How Did It End?
It's so good. Oh my God, it's so
Yeah,
good.
which is that the last. So Melissa
the last
famously has
episode.
not even been able to watch the show
last two
since the
episodes.
news broke that it would be ending.
I just don't know when I'll be ready to say goodbye to Carrie Bradshaw. Like, I just don't know if that's ever going to happen for me. Eventually, I will. But yeah, it's really hard for me right now.
But the montage was just so good. Like the whole season has been like minor trash, but then the montage of How Did It End with Carrie Bradshaw decorating her home.
Probably the best scene in like a movie or a TV show with a Taylor song that I can think of that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that
so
one, I mean, I don't watch the show, but I do think that one clip of it from The Bear when that guy is singing Love
Oh,
Story in the car, I think that's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that
I haven't
moment a
seen
lot.
that.
I haven't
They
seen.
Style is actually in the new season of The Bear.
Oh, is it
Oh,
really?
Yeah, but it kind of
girl,
just
they
plays in
got
the background.
money. Like,
I mean,
how are they paying
nobody
her?
has anything on The Summer I Turned Pretty. The Summer I Turned Pretty, I swear to God, it's $20 million locked away just for Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Actually,
Maybe
no.
she's giving it pro bono or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of think it's a money laundering scheme. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Taylor's invested somehow, or like Jenny
It is some
Han
sort of business
like saw
transaction.
Taylor kill someone, and this is how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is because. Well,
Yay.
That's so funny.
Well, that was good.
it's been hot.
Are we
Yeah.
ready to go into the world of
Okay.
Norman fucking Rockwell? Or are we
You
ready?
guys ready for my novella? I
Yay!
do
Yes.
maybe just apologize in advance to
No apologies.
everyone. It's
Don't
a
be
little
sorry to be
long.
here.
No, because if
Yeah, this is so
if people are
exciting.
here, they're academics. They want to learn. They
Yes.
want
Okay.
And this is the first Lana.
This is
Yeah,
what's
right.
on it.
That's so I did like you are going to hear a lot of like her very, very beginning. I did leave you guys more information out so that when you guys hopefully do Born to Die or Ultraviolence, you'll have some additional information to add. But yeah, so okay. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, awesome. So should I
It's
start?
time. It's time.
Okay, let's do it. So, Lana Del Rey was born as Elizabeth Woolridge Grant on June 21st, 1985 in Manhattan, New York. A little pop girlies fun fact actually is that one day prior, also in Manhattan, New York, Caroline Polachek was born. How weird is that?
Wait, they're the
Yeah.
same age?
They were born one day apart in Manhattan, New York.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's so crazy. I just thought
Also,
that was
like, I just have to say, and we also do this all the time, but it's so fun when we like introduce a new artist for the first time and we literally start with the day they're born. Like, it's so legendary.
So good.
Caroline too, and it's so funny. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're beginning. Back in 1985. Thanks. So At a very early age, her family, which consisted of her father, Robert Grant, mother, Patricia, sister, Caroline, nicknamed Chuck, and brother, Charlie, moved to Lake Placid, New York, where she grew up. She was raised Catholic and began singing in her local church choir as a young girl. When she faced severe alcoholism and addiction issues as a teenager, drinking heavily by age 13, her parents enrolled her in a strict boarding school in Connecticut in hopes of getting her sober. Speaking about this, Lana says, quote, "A great deal of what I wrote on Born to Die is about these wilderness years. A lot of the time when I write about the person that I love, I feel like I'm writing about New York. And when I write about the thing that I've lost, I feel like I'm writing about alcohol because that was the first love of my life. Sure, there have been people, but it's really alcohol. My parents were worried. I was worried. I knew it was a problem when I liked it more than I liked doing anything else. I was like, I'm fed. I am totally fed. Like at first it's fine and you think you have a dark side. It's exciting. And then you realize the dark side wins every time if you decide to indulge in it. It's also a completely different way of living when you know that. It's like being a different species of person. It was horrific. It was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. So eventually, she left boarding school and went to rehab in New York and worked at an outreach program for addicts in Brooklyn. And around this time, at age 18, and attending outpatient rehab in New York, she lived with her aunt and uncle in the Bronx, and her uncle taught her 6 chords on the guitar. Quote, I realized I could probably write a million songs with those 6 chords. She enrolled in Fordham University studying metaphysics and began writing songs and singing in underground venues and clubs in Brooklyn and in the Lower East Side under various stage names, including infamous Sparkle Jump Rope Queen and Lizzie Grant and the Phenomena.
Wait, Sparkle Jump Rope
Sparkle
Queen?
Jump Rope Queen.
Yeah, so Sparkle Jump Rope Queen was one of her old stage names, and it's made famous because it was like her username on MySpace.
You know how she
So
came up with that? Like, did that just come to her someday?
yeah, I have no idea. That it's just like if you're like an old Lana girl, you know Sparkle Jump Rope Queen is just like Sparkle Jump Rope Queen. It's like old lore. May Jailer was another stage name at one point as well around this time. But by the time she was a senior at Fordham, she attended the 2006 Williamsburg Live Songwriting Competition, where she meets a representative for an independent record label, 5 Point Records, owned by David Nichtern. They end up offering her a recording contract that the label reportedly gave an all-in budget of $50,000, of which Lana received a significant advance. With this money, she chose to move to a trailer park in New Jersey. David Lichtern connects her with music producer David Kahn. He's like a big time music producer. And they worked together on her first album during her last year at Fordham and while she was commuting to and from the trailer park. This time in her life, she reflects on very happily. She had a boyfriend that became a significant muse in her early work and loved the experience of commuting to the city and becoming a member of the community of the trailer park. Quote, I remember I was working with like this very famous producer on my first record, but at night at 3 in the morning when it was time to go home, I'd take the light rail to my trailer park in New Jersey, and it very much felt like two worlds colliding, which gave me a lot of hope, like the future could hold anything, you know? Maybe I could go in this direction or in that direction. I could be whatever person I wanted to be. That full length album was called Lana Del Rey with RAY at the time, aka Lizzie Grant, which ended up getting shelved for a couple of years. So by the time it actually is released digitally in 2010, Lana is already in talks with new management, wanting to change her image and her name, and was feeling pretty separated from the art by that point and ready to move on. She arranged a separation agreement with 5 Point Records to buy the masters of this music and remove the digital album from iTunes without there having ever been a hard product of it. So there were never any CDs or anything at the time. When David Nichtern was interviewed about this experience with her after Born to Die was later released with her new label, he said, quote, I was excited. She was very original. I didn't think she was the same as the other alt indie girls. She also is a very intelligent and creative person. She would ride around on the subways all night sometimes, writing lyrics and stuff like that. When I was pitching her, I said, here's somebody with the outer manifestation of Marilyn Monroe and the inner manifestation of Leonard Cohen. That's how I saw her. For people to say she's just this created thing is wrong. She's probably going to continue to evolve, and in a way that probably didn't get her too much time to do that now that she's engrossed in the public. As an artist, I'm very supportive of her. Within the time frame that her relationship with Five Point Records ends and she signs with Interscope and Polydor Records in 2011, Lana uploads her song Video Games on YouTube, featuring a self-made music video created with her Apple computer and included self footage from her webcam, in addition to clips of archive footage depicting old Hollywood and various noir imagery. Audiences are immediately captivated by her haunting vocals and the cinematic production of the song. Within 5 months, the video has garnered 20 million views and officially became her first hit, going #1 in several countries and certified 2 times platinum. Less than a year later, Born to Die is released in early 2012, and the rest is history. In the years since,
History.
In the years since, Lana has cemented herself as an icon of vintage glamour and ultimate street smart, cool girl Americana aesthetic. She's described her unique look as gangster Nancy Sinatra and Lolita who got lost in the hood. Her music has been noted by critics for its stylized cinematic quality, its preoccupation with themes of tragic romance, glamour, and melancholia, and its references to pop culture, particularly 1950s to 1970s Americana. Of her stage name, she has told us, I wanted a name I could shape the music toward. I was going to Miami quite a lot at the time, speaking a lot of Spanish with my friends from Cuba. Lana Del Rey reminded us of the glamour of the seaside. It sounded gorgeous coming off the tip of the tongue. Okay, we're gonna fast forward to Norman now. So thank you for
The rest to be covered by our.
Yes. So Norman fucking Rockwell is Lana Del Rey's sixth studio album and featuring 14 tracks. It is first, okay, well, actually, for this part, let me just mention that the information is pretty conflicting online. There's so many moments throughout this year and a half where she's announcing this album where it's like bits of live stream that are posted and then deleted and etc. So I tried to get it as accurate as
Yeah.
possible. So it is first mentioned at the red carpet at the 60th Annual Grammy Awards when she told Pitchfork that she was working on a track called Bartender that didn't yet belong to an album. Throughout that year, Lana and her sister share several small tidbits of information on the album, both via Instagram and live stream, as well as radio shows and interviews, some of which do conflict information a few times. Overall, through the year, we do hear snippets of Bartender and Happiness is a Butterfly. Then in September, Mariner's Apartment Complex and Venice Bitch are released as singles, and the name of the album is shared. In December 2018, Lana expresses that she has a desire to release a song in January, but is unsure.
So Lana.
Yes. She confirms the album is done and mastered, describing it as deeply introspective and some sad girl shit. January 1st, 2019, she posts an Instagram video of a new song, but then deletes it. The next day, she posts the lyrics of a song called Sylvia Plath and announces a new single called Hope is a Dangerous Thing for a Girl Like Me to Have, but I Have It. This did cause confusion regarding the name of the song at the time, which had changed several times by that point. But in May of that year, we get the cover of Due in Time. And in June, we hear a snippet of the title track, Norman fucking Rockwell. July 31st, 2019, we finally get an official announcement of the cover art, release date, and track listing with a tour announcement the next day. That month, she released a double music video for Fuck It, I Love You and The Greatest, and the album is officially released on August 30th. In December of 2019, she released a 14-minute short film that was made with her sister Chuck that was a collective music video for Norman fucking Rockwell, Bartender, and Happiness is a Butterfly. Her tour kicked off in North America in September and concluded in November. The European dates were scheduled for late February through March of 2020, but even like before the pandemic probably would have canceled half of that anyway, but it was canceled due to illness because Lana lost her voice.
Oh.
So, success of the album. Norman fucking Rockwell received widespread acclaim. Music critics praised the album's poetic and refined lyricism, production, and Lana's musical progression. The album reached #1 in 7 countries. In the US, Norman peaked at #3, marking Del Rey's fifth consecutive top 5 album in the country. It was nominated for of the Year at the 62nd Annual Grammy Awards and was frequently listed by numerous publications as the best album of the year. And since its release, has been regarded as one of the greatest and most revered albums of the decade and of all time, with Rolling Stone ranking it on their list of 500 greatest albums of all time at number 321. And on Apple Music's 100 best albums of all time, it's ranked at 79. Metacritic's Metascore gave it an 87 out of 100 based on 28 critic reviews, which is her highest to date, and Pitchfork scored it a 9.4. Okay, so production. Blood Magazine describes the album's sound as a mellow of soft rock and noted Lana's improved lyrics, tackling larger themes than her previous work. According to critics, Norman features psych rock jams and piano-based ballads and is described as a psych pop lullabies, tales of complicated, consuming romantic love, and overt odes to the tarnished dream of California. It has been characterized as a pop classic as well as embodying folk rock and existing somewhere between the desert rock and minimalist trip hop of Lana's previous efforts. The album also features a strong influence from 1970s classic rock. So it is primarily produced by Jack Antonoff with additional contributions from Zach Dawes, Andrew Watt, and longtime Lana collaborator Rick Knowles. When asked how she got to the point of wanting to make a record with Antonoff, Lana explained, quote, "We sat down at his studio in New York, and I mean, he kind of started everything, because he would just play chords for hours. And like he's so good at piano, some of the stuff he writes just melodically is really kind of classical, and in my case, it ended up turning more folky. He made it really easy for me to just riff over everything he was doing. And in our first week, I had 2 songs I just thought were maybe like 2 of the best songs I had ever written. He just had a lot of truth in him." She goes on to explain when meeting him for the first time, she was expected to get in there with him and for him to have all of these 4 to the floor beats already mixed and produced. However, she was surprised that he sat at a piano and started playing chords, and Lana was so impressed by the chord progression he was playing that she recounted, "For the first few months I worked with Jack, he would play me like 5 chords in a row that would end up becoming a new song each time. And I would ask him, like I would legitimately ask him, 'Are you sure I'm allowed to have this? Like, do you not want to save that progression for yourself?' And he thought that was hilarious. And he was like, 'No, I've been dying to meet you and give you this.'"
History.
Yes. So lastly, the album itself, it's so rich with references to American pop culture and music, particularly folk rock, and psychedelic rock in the 1960s and 70s. So some of this, I'm just going to explain some of the references, not all of them, because I would just be really going on and on. Yeah. So first, obviously, there's Norman Rockwell, who is the 20th century painter and illustrator, famous for his work depicting sentimental paintings of America. He was known for photorealism, having taken photos himself and then used them to create his paintings. His illustrations for the Saturday Evening Post, which ran for 5 decades, is what made him famous. And he's also highly praised for eventually tackling difficult and more controversial themes of the time period in his artwork, such as poverty and racism. So there's a lot of info, references to Laurel Canyon. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about Laurel Canyon as well. So Laurel Canyon, first mentioned in the title track, when she calls the subject of the song, quote, "a self-loathing poet, resident Laurel Canyon know-it-all." So Laurel Canyon is a mountainous region in the Hollywood Hills area of the Santa Monica Mountains. The remote nature of the area became an ideal location for celebrities and movie stars to build homes and began to popularize the area during the golden age of Hollywood. In the 60s, it became a local community dedicated to the counterculture, and a prominent folk and rock musicians began moving into the neighborhood. During this time, the area housed legends such as Cass Elliot of the Mamas and the Papas, Joni Mitchell, who famously was inspired to write her third album, Ladies of the Canyon, due to her time there, some members of the Eagles, Jimmy Morrison, Neil Young, Carole King, the Beach Boys, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, The Doors, and more. This quickly cemented Laurel Canyon as a haven for musicians to have informal jam sessions, collaborations, and sharing ideas, which subsequently blended folk, rock, pop, and country together in many unique ways that changed American music and its sound forever. Many of the mentioned artists created some of their most influential work due to this time of collaboration. An infamous photo of Joni, David Crosby, and Eric Clapton jamming out with Joni on guitar in Cass Elliott's backyard is a prime example of this legendary time period that we can thank a significant thread of Americana music for. She also mentions it again in track 12, Bartender, when she says, all the ladies of the canyon wearing black to their house parties, Crosby, Stills, and Nash is playing. Then we can attribute the song California in many ways, kind of a love letter to Joni Mitchell, drawing several parallels to Joni's track of the same name off her album Blue. While Joni's California is a track about her traveling through Europe and dreaming about returning to California, Lana's is the opposite, with lines such as, if you ever come back to America, just hit me up. Joni has a verse about being in Spain and observing those around her reading Rolling Stone and Vogue. And in Lana's track, she says, I'll pick up all your Vogues, all your Rolling Stones. Track 11, The Greatest, has a ton of commentary about the current culture and has a lot of references, but they do mention the Beach Boys, Kanye West, and David Bowie. And then in Venice Bitch, she repeats the lines Crimson and Clover over and over again, which is a reference to the song of the same name by Tommy James and the Shondells, which was released in 1968. And it's a song that's known for its trance-like psychedelic pop quality, which is a clear nod to Lana's inspiration for Venice Bitch, particularly considering this kind of matching electric guitar plucking that is also featured in Tommy James's song. And then last but not least, we have the reference to Nathaniel Hawthorne, American novelist, who inspired the theme of Happiness is a Butterfly. And he has the infamous quote, happiness is like a butterfly, which when pursued is always beyond our grasp, but if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you.
Yay!
Sorry, that was so long.
No, first of all, I love Nathaniel Hawthorne. Scarlet Letter East,
Yeah.
House Down Boots. That was one of my favorite books in English to read. I don't know
Oh
if
my God,
y'all
yeah.
ever read it, but that was
Mhm.
Girl,
amazing.
didn't
Oh,
read
yeah.
it, but I saw Easy A.
Well, you should read it. The book is actually amazing.
Bits of an understatement, governor.
Girl. No, I just kind of don't have words for that. Like that was just really
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
I
God.
have like it's crazy you were nervous about that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was
no,
so lovely.
that was amazing. That was amazing, and I learned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's so cool that like when you really hear about her days like living in a trailer park, like I think you may look at Lana and see like, that, aesthetic she has of the hoop earrings and the Lolita in the Hood, Coca-Cola, like kind of thing that she's known for. It does kind of seem like planted, but then you
Yeah.
realize how
It's really
authentic it is.
ingrained.
Like it's truly authentic to her life
Yeah.
experience. So it's really cool.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say.
Okay, who pick on
Okay.
someone first.
So I want Levi to go first.
Oh my God. I never get picked first. This is crazy for me. Um, wow. Yeah, I mean, this is really special to be able to have Melissa on and do a Lana album. I mean, Lana is an artist that I love very, very much. She's one of my favorite artists, and I also think she's one of the most important artists that we currently have working. I think she's like generation defining and extraordinarily influential. I mean, I think something that just first we can kind of add on to that really beautiful biography and memoir that Melissa wrote is I think that it can't be understated how much of an impact Lana has had musically. I think that her emergence in the early 2010s really shapes the way that so much of music throughout the rest of the decade and into the 2020s is made. She has such a distinct songwriting voice. She has such distinct sonic references that really were not like anything else that was out at the time. I mean, video games really did take kind of the music world by storm, and Born to Die is like one of the most successful albums on the Billboard 200 ever. And I mean, I think Taylor is a great example of her influence. Taylor is somebody who has been very, very outspoken about being incredibly influenced by Lana. And I think that, her influence on the alt scene and the indie girls, like she's just incredibly influential. I think she really kind of brought back this like idea of like sad girl music, which I know that I think she does kind of push back against sometimes, because I think that can be a bit derivative of what she brings to the table. But yeah, I just think
Yeah.
that she is a really extraordinary artist, and incredibly interesting and weird and messy. And I like that she does the wrong thing. Like I like that she says stuff sometimes that like she puts her foot in her mouth. I find it very like refreshing. I find her just weird brain interesting. Like I think I one of my favorite pop culture moments ever is her working at the Waffle House. I think that that is one of the funniest things of all time. I will never forget looking at Twitter for the first time and seeing that Lana Del Rey has just emerged at was it in Oklahoma or Alabama? It was some
It
random
was in Alabama.
in
Yeah.
Alabama. Like
Yeah.
I can't and like her singing the songs to the old men who I doubt even knew who she was. Like it's just amazing.
Melissa and
And
I were hanging out on Friday and we were literally were talking about the Waffle House and you said something so funny. You were like, yeah, I mean, right now, Lana is probably on a boat looking for gators.
like literally, even to piggyback off of the Waffle House situation is just the fact that she married this guy Jeremy who she met doing a swamp tour. Like it's just so her. You would never ever see someone of her like caliber in Hollywood do something like that.
No,
Like
well, I mean, do you remember who she was dating at this time? This is when, and Norman fucking Rockwell, she was dating that like hot cop. Does anybody remember
yes.
this?
So I've told Drew when she took a picture of her at the courthouse on 26 in California in Chicago and took a picture in front of the courthouse. And that's like the main courthouse that you go to in
I
Chicago,
love
like
that
when
picture.
it's unbelievable.
I
It's
love that
so
picture.
crazy.
It's just so crazy. Um, yeah, and like my history with Lana, real quick, like she's an artist that I've loved for a long time. I was into Born to Die. I was into Ultraviolence. Weirdly, the album that I was into the most pre Norman fucking Rockwell was Honeymoon, which I think is an album that's slept on quite a bit, but I was very, very much into Honeymoon. Really liked Lust for Life as well. But Norman fucking Rockwell, I think, is when I really became very passionate about her as an artist. And that's funny because I had kind of an interesting listening experience with this record. I was there for the singles. Those first two songs came out our freshman year of college, and I remember listening to them in my dorm. I listened to Mariner's Apartment Complex for the first time when I think I was like hiding in the bathroom for some reason because I wasn't going to the bathroom, but I think I was in a stall. I don't know what I was doing. I had a crazy roommate, so I probably was trying to avoid him at all costs. Um, that's tea for another time. That's on the Patreon for Pop Girlies. But I remember being like, oh my God, because I love Jack Antonoff and them working together was really interesting to me. And I think that the sound that came out was not what I was expecting because this is kind of the first. Now I think like a folky sound is something that Jack is kind of known for, but this was like the first time he was really working in this mode. I mean, prior to this, he was kind of known exclusively as like big 80 synths and big drums and like melodrama and like 1989 and Reputation. Like that was kind of what he was seen as. Like this wasn't really I think a very typical Jack sound. I mean, I think that this really broke new ground for him as a producer. And unfortunately, though, I'm crazy and I can't listen to anything besides Taylor when she releases an album. And so she released this 2 weeks after Lover, which I love. And so I was so deep into my Lover bag that I didn't get around to this. And also, um, Alex, who was my boyfriend for a really long time, still my best friend, he He is so stupid. He told me, he was like, yeah, it's just not that good. Like, you're not gonna like it. Like, it's really not that good. And so I didn't really feel any motivation to listen to this. And specifically he told me, yeah, Happiness is Butterfly is so bad. Like, that's one of her worst songs ever. And then in December of 2019, when I was studying for finals, I finally listened to it and I was like, Alex, you're on drugs. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is like one of the greatest things I've ever heard. And then he listened to it again. He's like, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about either. He was talking out of his ass. I don't know what he was talking about. So it took me months to listen to this because I was part in Taylor mania, but also because I had somebody leading me astray. All to say, I think that this was such a cool album to experience in real time because to me this feels like such a major moment in a lot of ways. I think in her career, to me, this is when Lana becomes like a quote unquote great American songwriter who is like in the same conversation as like a Leonard Cohen or a Joni Mitchell or a Bob Dylan. Because I think it's really important to remember a lot of that backlash that kind of Melissa talked about. Born to Die, she was treated horribly by critics and she was really ravaged about. I mean, that album's reception and reputation is a lot better now than it was at the time, but it like received mixed reviews, I think, at best. There were a lot of people who were very, very critical of her. Ultraviolence definitely helped kind of like upswing her the opinion of her in critical circles, but Norman fucking Rockwell is like her first just like universally acclaimed like masterpiece record that is widespread. I'm not saying that her records before that like aren't great, and I think that you can make the case for like one or two of those being like masterpieces as well, but this is her first album where like everybody's on board and sees the vision, and to me it feels like an example of like people having to catch up to an artist. I don't think it was really anything she was doing. I think she's so fully formed um and like able to carry her perspective in a lot of different sounds, which is one of my favorite things an artist can do. I mean, like Taylor does that, Madonna does that, you know, people that I love so much. But I think it took people a while to catch up to her and to kind of meet her with where she was at and what she was doing. And so it was just really wonderful, I think, getting to experience this record and see somebody who I think goes unsung a lot, specifically at that time, get this kind of like big moment of celebration and like get just really acclaimed and, you know, seen as what she is, which is a really important American songwriter. Uh, this record to me is just everything that makes Lana great. I think this is, like Melissa mentioned, this is one of the best albums of 2019. It's one of the best albums of the 2010s. It's one of the best albums of the century. And I think it's one of the best albums of all time. It is just truly incredible. First thing I want to say is I know a lot of like OG Lana fans miss her, like, you know, gangsta Nancy Sinatra, like Born to Die hip hop influence, which love that too. And I love that it kind of peaked up again on Ocean Boulevard. But my favorite Lana is when she leans into folk influence. That is my like I know some girls like the, you know, kind of alt rock of Ultraviolence. Some people like the orchestral stuff of Honeymoon. Like for me, I'm folk Lana 24/7. And this album is just like such a classical, rich, beautiful interpretation of that. This is her, you know, 60s, 70s folk psychedelic rock record. And I think that her cultural references fit in so well with this. I think that what she likes to say about America, which I'm about to get into a little bit more, fits really well with the sound. And I think her voice fits the sound beautifully. I mean, she has like such a pretty tone, specifically when she gets higher, which she go does a lot on this record. I love when she like goes into her upper register, which I know at the beginning of her career she kind of avoided because she didn't really like the way that her voice sounded. I think it's really beautiful, and I love the justification between kind of the huskier quality of her lower register and then this just like really like light lyrical upper register that she has. This record is really dense and I think it's hard to talk about succinctly, uh, which like I completely get why Melissa had such a long introduction because there's just so much packed into this that like in order to do it justice, you kind of have to get a little bit nitty gritty. I think for me, the biggest story about this record is it is a kind of commentary on America and American culture that I think is incredibly nuanced, really, really interesting, not very obvious in a lot of places, and also like very timely. I mean, think about this. This came at the end of the 2010s in 2019, right before 2020, which is a year that like changed the world. And this record, to me, I kind of always view this as like an apocalypse record. Like this is kind of her singing about a world that's dying and a world that like doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, the cover art I think is representative of this. You see LA on fire in the background, and like the greatest is the most overt like example of this part of the album. But I think that just with the way that she is, first of all, evoking Norman Rockwell and his very classic Americana imagery in his paintings in the title, with that like irreverent exclamation point and the expletive between his names. And then the way that she is taking all these references to 60s, 70s subculture, whether that be rock, folk, whatever, and then kind of juxtaposing that with her modern lens. Like, I really, to me, this is like a eulogy to a world that doesn't really exist anymore, like a version of America that's lost that we kind of can't get back. And I think that, you know, you can make the case that Lana is like our last great torch singer, like somebody who like sings lamentations and is so dramatic and fatalistic. And to me, this really is like a torch song to, you know, a version of America that we had for a moment, and the culture got lit and we had a ball, and we're signing off after all. You know, Kanye West is blonde and gone. Like that line, first of all, as a Swiftie, I was delighted by that. Um, I will never forget hearing that for the first time and be like, oh my God, Taylor probably like lost her mind, like screaming. She probably like lost her voice screaming so hard. Um,
She wrote 400 love songs after that
She
lyric.
literally did. She literally did. You know, she sent her Spotify streams and boosted up the Born to Die
Yes.
streams. But I just think that record is like that line is so indicative of what makes this album interesting and the perspective that she's writing from. Because, you know, Kanye West for a long time was this like hero. He was somebody who was an underdog who came from nothing in Chicago, who was such a musical pioneer and genius, who was a advocate for his community. I mean, never forget George Bush hates black people, that like very iconic, you know, line that he had, kind of in Hurricane Katrina era. And then to watch what he has become. I mean, now he's a Nazi singing, literally making music about Heiling Hitler. Like it to me, it's just really representative of like an America that had so much promise and a world that had so much promise and was on track that just got corrupted and jaded and became something really gross and grotesque. And it's just such an interesting album to be released right before the world shifted with pandemic. I mean, it feels very kind of like almost supernatural in a sense that like she had some kind of like sense of foreboding. The
Well, yeah, the question for the culture. She knows so much more than we can ever even begin to know.
the question for the culture that we got to, for those of you who don't know, look up Lana Del Rey question for the culture, and you will see an Instagram post that is crazy that she got so much shit for. And
She
then there
did.
was this period of time where all the artists that she mentioned by order were having like insane controversies. Um, I mean, she really is kind of on some. I mean, I think this was also the era where she talked about being a witch and trying to set hexes on Donald
She
Trump.
did.
So,
Hmm.
Yes.
like, you
I
know,
remember that.
she knows something that we don't.
Well, doesn't in there's there a lyric in 57.5 where she talks about talking to psychics?
She says in the first verse, she says, I still talk to Jesus, yes, but I still call up psychics when I need advice. It's such a good fucking line. It's I
It's so
cannot
bonkers.
wait for that song to
We
come out.
need
We need
57.5.
the production. I just can't wait for the production on that.
So I don't want to be too lengthy because I want to get into everybody else's thoughts as well, and I don't want this to be 5,000 years long. So just to get a bit more specific, I think that this has one of the best opening lines to an album of all time. Goddamn man child, you fucked me so good that I almost said I love you. Like what? And the way that the strings like fade that in, and then that gorgeous piano line. is incredible. The piano on this record is amazing. The guitars on this record are amazing. The gag of listening to Venice Bitch for the first time and that long of a song working the way that it does, um, I think she's just unmatched from a songwriting perspective here. Some of my favorite lyrics of all time are on this record. I'll get into it more in my hot tracks, but genuinely some of my favorite lyrics that have ever been recorded are on this record. Some of my favorite Jack Antonoff production and just production in general is on this record. I think it is extraordinarily strong. It is incredibly consistent. It is the best distillation of what Lana Del Rey is and what she does and what she brings to the culture. It is an incredibly monumental album that I think is like a must for anybody who likes music, who cares about pop culture, and who likes art. Uh, I can't wait to hear. I mean, I know a lot of what really Drew thinks. I don't really know if I've ever talked about this with Maria. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say. And then obviously, our Messiah, I want the full whatever that word is that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of in the moment. That. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it off. But really amazing album and important and beautiful and funny and sad and devastating and gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yay.
Yay!
Oh my God,
There
amazing.
were some all-time Levi quotes in
Oh
your
God, I black out when I talk in the stupid song.
no, no, no. Genius lines.
Oh, like Levi the historian or Levi the
Yes.
because one of
Okay.
the things about being on Pop Girlies is that I black out when I press record and I say the stupidest, wackest thing, and then my friends text
And
me.
then arpeggios come up.
Well, there you go.
Not in here. This is an arpeggio album for me.
Okay, Miss Maria.
Oh my God, I'm
Melissa's
so excited, like
dying.
literally dying. I can't wait to see what you think.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'll just dive right in. And kind of like similar to Levi, I kind of want to go to like where my kind of like relationship with her discography started. But even to preface that, like I'm not the biggest Lana fan. Like I don't usually jump to her music as like an instinct or it's not like in my typical rotation all the time, but I definitely have songs and moments of hers that I really, really have like latched onto and I really, really love. And with that too, like, and I feel like kind of going back in time just like makes me sound like I'm a kindergartner or something. Because it's like when Born to Die was coming out, like I was literally 12 and this was around the time where I like started to get more of my own like music taste under my belt and just kind of like have more of my own like firsts with music of like oh like discovering this genre on my own or being influenced by like what my brothers were listening to and like whatever. So I feel like I also like came across her music maybe in that sort of way. Like I feel like one of my brothers might have been like listening to a couple of her songs here and there. Probably heard her on the radio a little bit, like obviously the summertime sadness of it all. But then like would just kind of start to try and listen to it on my own. And being a literal 12-year-old, I felt really like anxious to try and approach her music because there were so many different editions of Born to Die that I literally had no idea where to start. And I was like, screw the whole thing. I'm not trying. I won't even try. I don't even know which one to hit play on. So it's like my little like 12-year-old brain was like, I don't know what to do. I'll just maybe, I don't know, I'll hear it when I hear it, I guess. So I never really got that super, super into like her first album or editions of her first album, so to speak. So there was that. But what I was like very, very, very here for was when she started to release singles for Ultraviolence, because Ultraviolence is like without a doubt my favorite Lana era. Like I just love how dark and moody the whole thing is. And the lyrics are just like so interesting. And I think such a consistent part of her as an artist is like just her narrative capabilities through her songwriting is just like so fun to listen to. And that's definitely one of my favorite things about this album too. It's just like the narratives of like, these like really dramatic romances, like you were saying. So yeah, that's definitely a highlight for me for like her as an artist in general. But like, yeah, definitely like just the really intense, brooding vibe of Ultraviolence is like my favorite version of her as an artist. Um, so with that too, like I also do certainly have like folk sensibilities and the kind of music I listen to. And I know we've talked about it before of like, of course we did Joni, and I'm also a big like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fan. So definitely living for like the folkiness of this album and like the Laurel Canyon references and it even literally like Crosby, Stills and Nash being referenced on the album is like so tea for me. Um, but but yeah, I really like this album. I didn't listen to it probably until like 2022 or something. And this is just an artist where I'm like generally always behind like whatever's going on. Like I'm usually at least two albums behind. Like I just never really have caught up with or like I guess like stayed in tune with like what she's releasing as she's releasing it. Except I remember when the Doing Time single did get released, I probably saw the single art and I was like, girl, what the hell? And then just had to listen to it. And it's so good. So yeah, this album is a super fun listen. I over the last few days I like just have been listening to it on a loop. And something that I will say, which I did actually feel on my first initial listen, oh my God, excuse me, my first initial listen that I still feel the same about is that for the most part, like side B of this album, or maybe potentially the album after like Cinnamon Girl, really drops off for me. Like I feel like there's, at least in my brain, like a really, really distinct difference between like everything that's on the first half and everything that's on the second half. Like I feel like the songs I feel like on the second half are much, much more sparse than everything on the first half. And at least for me, it felt like it was very noticeable when I listened to it for the first time. And that's something that is just not my favorite as far as like the listening experience goes. And I don't say that as like a discredit to the album. I feel like that's just a preference of mine of like it gets a little bit like way more chill on the second half in a way that like just the songs don't feel as full. They don't feel as like lush as they do in the first half. So that's why like basically all of my favorite tracks are on the side A of the album for sure. But yeah, I think this album's super fun. I also just like the calm nature of the whole thing in general. And like Levi said, the piano on this is like probably my favorite. It's like my favorite aspect of it as far as the instrumentation goes. Um, and yeah, I feel like that's maybe my whole kind of like take on it. I think the album cover is so cool as well. And I love how it's an album cover that has like a very obvious foreground and background because that isn't like super common. Like usually you see an album cover and it's typically just an like a flat image. So I love that she's like reaching out to you as you're looking at it. I think that's so cool. And yeah, it took me forever to even notice that she was just wearing some like neon windbreaker and leggings. I truly didn't notice it for the longest time. So it's just so funny. I love it. But also just like the mix of like paint strokes and what you can tell is obviously a real like photographed image is so so cool. So yeah, I will say too, and we actually did recently discuss this. Or actually when you guys were talking with Alex Oishi, you guys discussed it. Um, that the case sensitivity on the album, the song titles on this is all over the place and it drives me nuts. There is no rule to when things are capitalized and when they aren't.
Welcome to Lana.
And
You just can't control it.
Welcome, welcome to Lana Gatorland.
You gotta let her cook. Like you just can't.
Let her cook.
She
yes,
just does whatever she wants.
yeah, it's just it's hard because like I just don't there's no rhyme or reason to it, and that's what really bothers me. Whereas like on Brat, for example, it's all the same. Like at least it's all the same. At least on like other albums where it's all capitalized, it's all capitalized. And to follow up also on your guys' conversation with Alex Uishi, Renaissance is my exception to the not liking when song titles are all
Yep.
caps. But yes, that's all. That's everything from me.
Oh,
That's my background.
love.
Bloop.
Yay. Okay, do you want
Yay.
me to go next?
Yes,
Okay.
totally.
Okay, so my kind of intro to Lana was I got a record player for Christmas one year, and I'd never listened to Lana before. Never. I think I did know Summertime Sadness because I'd made a video star to it.
Hmm.
But of course the Cedric remix, not the that's what the remix is called, right? The Cedric one?
I guess it's
Probably.
whoever remixed it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't know her, but I was like, I just think she seems so cool. So I, with my record player, asked for her whole discography at the time on vinyl. And I literally didn't it is probably in my parents' house, like somewhere sitting around.
Yeah.
So I had never gotten to her, but I had a friend in high school who loved Lana. Um, and so he like every time a Lana album would come out, it'd be like nonstop. And so I listened to Ultraviolence. That was like the first one I really got into. Yeah, and I was like really into her. And then I just like I didn't get back to it until like Norman.
Mm.
I was on the train with my good friend Estella, who I was friends with in college, and she played Cinnamon Girl to me. It was like right after it had come out. And I was like, oh, like this is really good. And maybe I need to get back in on this Lana gig. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is her
Sick.
masterpiece.
Hmm.
So yeah, so then I listened to it and yeah, I mean, her voice, I think, was something kind of what Levi was talking about. We didn't really get this kind of like her version of being like operatic almost like until this for me, because I really only got into her for Ultraviolence, which there's not a lot of that on like a lot of the high singing, right?
Um, See, that's interesting. I feel like my perspective is that that is like really classic Lana. I think she had a lot of trouble early on in her
Yeah.
career, like kind of having the ability to lean in well into like her instincts.
Okay.
Because like the performance at SNL at SNL that everyone like tore her to shreds for,
Oh,
I feel like is because she was still learning how
yeah.
to like you know,
Yeah, well,
have the magic there.
I like freaked out when I listened. I was like, she sounds so amazing. And in the best way. She sounds her voice to me, especially on this album, she sounds like Susan Sarandon as Janet in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But like in the best way. Like if she were a folk singer,
Hmm.
it would be Lana. Like Lana could play Janet. And she should. At the cemetery that she performs at, they should do a production of Rocky Horror and Lana can be Janet. Um, but yeah, I really fell in love with this. I did go to the tour, which I've talked about on the podcast before. I didn't really have a great time, but Melissa,
And we were probably like 10 feet away from each other.
That's
So that's
crazy.
so crazy.
yeah, seeing the Lana Gators escorted out via stretcher.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Yeah.
Ooh, that tends to happen.
But no, I mean, and like what Levi said, the production is like insane. It's like nothing else that she's ever done. My favorite production moment is How to Disappear with the maracas. Is that what it is? It's
Or is it
maracas.
tambourine? I feel like I'm not good with the
I'm not good
instrumental
either.
like
Levi's good at.
identification, but to me it's like a tambourine sound.
I'm
Well,
But
anyway, that and also Next Best American Record is like a production highlight. Like these are things Lana I've never heard an Alana song before. And again, what Levi said, I think it's one of the best album openers of all time. It was also a great tour opener. I remember like it was blackout and then the screen, it was a typewriter and it just wrote out goddamn man child and then
That's
she
so
walked out.
good.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it was so good. And I think there was also like a prop car on stage the whole time.
yeah, I think so. I barely remember, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That is so good.
I mean, it was, we did unfortunately leave early because we were just, I was just so confused with, I mean, by halfway through the concert, she was done playing any Norman songs.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, I
Like,
guess,
what's going on?
like, I think she started singing,
That's so her.
Cherry, it was, is she have a song called like Cherry?
Yeah.
Cherry.
Is it just
Off of
Cherry? Lust for Life?
Honeymoon, right? Is it Honeymoon?
Well, anyway, she started playing. I was looking and I was like, she sings some song called Cherry, and then there's no more Norman songs.
Yeah.
We can go. Um, so we just left. But it was so good. It like seeing her do the title track live was so good. Um, and then just kind of the last thing I'll say before we get into the tracks, something I kind of had a huge evolution with her. I think like after Norman and into like kind of her next eras, because I feel like after Norman there was a little bit of a plummet in her reception with like chemtrails and blue banisters, they weren't as popular. And then with Tunnel, she really, I feel like came back. But I feel like during Tunnel, so many people were getting back into her, which was great. But I was just kind of, that was also the same kind of time when everyone was shitting on Katie. And I, like, as a stan of an artist who, like, loved her kind of, I mean, obviously, why I love Katie so much is her camp and her, like, her just being crazy. And that's what so many people love about Lana. But, like, I felt like she was just so praised for that that I was getting like so in my head. I'm like, why can't I like someone? Why can't they be praised for something like that? You know, like Lana's like with the Gators, she's like doing the weirdest shit. And like they see it as so cool. And like my girl is like literally being shit onto the highest. Like if Lana went to space, the world would stop. Like everyone would care so much about Lana going to space. And so I was just like, oh, and then when you listen to like Tunnel, I mean, it's so campy,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Like the grandfather, what's the interlude before that? There's like a crazy
Before
sermon,
grandfather.
right?
Oh, the Judah
Yeah.
Smith interlude are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like it goes so many things,
Hmm.
you know. And so it was just like, what? Like, I just wish that like I guess I more so was just jealous, truly. Like but I really come around like meeting Melissa and feeling seeing her takes and like seeing like how much that gives you life
Yeah.
because that's like her Katie being so wild is like what gives me life.
Hmm.
So it just I've had such a huge come around listening to her and yeah, it's just yeah. But this, I mean, this is an album for me that stands the tests of time. Like it's everything. So yeah, there's not a flaw to me the whole way through. So yeah. And I'll get into more of my tracks, but
Yeah.
obviously Messiah
Okay. Well,
has to get into her thoughts.
So I'm usually, like you guys said, I'm usually like behind on what, having found, like I know that you guys actually have a really good memory with like Levi, you're always like, and the first time that I listened to this song, I remember I was walking to the gym and it's a song that came out like 8 years ago, and I'm always like, how do you remember that?
In the same way that you're a pop girlies historian,
Yeah.
Levi is a historian of his
Of my
memories.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the one thing that I will always be proud of is that like I was one of those girls who found the video games video on
Oh,
YouTube.
Dang. Oh my
And I
gosh.
have been with her ever since, like just immediately fell in love. I know Drew's obsessed with the fact that my wedding song, like my first
yeah.
song was video games. And I love that you mentioned Next Best American Record because I like almost at the very last second changed it to that song.
Oh, gee, your wedding.
Yeah. But then I
Okay.
was like, I have to stay true to myself. I've been picturing this for years. So
It's you, it's you. It's all for you.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and then it made me think of like when Levi and like didn't you see Chapel at House of Blues like before she blew up and
Yes.
everything? So I saw Lana at House of Blues when she was doing like a pre-show the
Oh,
week
wow.
of Lala. And so that was like 2013. And then I went to her Ultraviolence tour, Lust for Life tour, and then the Norman tour. So I
And
have not seen her
Hinterland.
since then. In my dreams. Um, so yeah, I just love her so much. This is my favorite Lana album, as it basically should be. But kind of just the same. I could say the same about like my experience as a Swiftie too. I mean, I could name five of her albums, and they are like within
They're so
a hair away
Yeah,
of
what would be your second?
Ultraviolence.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
She knew it off the top of
Yeah.
her head.
So
Wait,
I
okay,
just love.
just for curiosity, what's your third?
Yeah, what's your third?
So that would be harder to say. It would be, I, yeah, I'm always really good with like one and two, and then I have a hard time with three. But it would be either like Born to Die or Blue Banisters or Tunnel. Those would
Oh,
all be like in that
In
sort
that in the
of,
yeah.
conversation, got it.
yeah. And then probably last, well, I know that last is Chemtrails for some weird reason. Like I just don't like
That weird reason
vibe
being
as
You
that.
were never a waitress in a white dress.
Well,
I
let's
never went
respect
to the
that
Men in Music
song.
Business Conference.
I'm at the Man in Music Business Conference 24/7. I'm
Yes.
5 days a week, every business day. I'm in my white dress being a waitress at the Man in Music Business Conference.
Me
So in
clocking
this,
into the diner at the Men in Music Business Conference.
so the
I'm
same
the
night,
manager at the diner at the Man in Music Business Conference.
so the
There's
same
only
night
19.
after Levi and I had seen Conclave.
Uh-huh.
So in the same walk home, Levi had recited the entire American Life rap for everyone outside Wrigley Field. And we also both sang to each other down at the Men in Music Business Conference
And
at
when we
full
sing that,
volume.
well, you have to the voice. You have to go down at the
Down
Man
at the Men in Music
in
Business
Conference.
Conference.
Down
Down
in
at
the
the Oh, it's so good.
so good. You dip the white in the dress, and it's just good.
Oh,
It's just good.
you dip the Norman in the fucking and the Rockwell, and it's just
It's just
good.
It's
good.
just good.
It's just good. I literally say that in my brain now, like to myself all the time, by the way.
It's just good.
Yeah, it's just good. But yeah, so like it's weird. I think probably because of the pandemic, my memory of like 2019 and Norman coming out is so weird. Like I have a way clearer memory of my experience the summer of 2020 with Norman. Like obviously I know
Oh,
that I
yeah.
already knew it and loved it, but I have such like clear memories of the summer of 2020 because it was folklore and it
Yeah.
was Norman. So I was pregnant at the time, and obviously the world was so crazy. And I just remember driving to and from work every single night, and I would literally put on Happiness is a Butterfly, weep, put on My Tears Ricochet. I think I had a playlist of Norman and folklore together
Oh
so
my
that I could
God.
just like
Oh
cry
my
whenever I
God.
want. And I did want to talk about Drew, this thing that you said in the Virgin episode that
Yeah.
I really, really loved when you
Yeah.
were talking about Lorde and this kind of unique experience that you have as a Lorde fan being of similar age to her and kind of feeling like you have grown with her. And Alana's like quite a bit older than me, but Taylor is 2 years older than me. And I've
Okay.
always felt the exact same way about Taylor.
Yeah.
And I mean, like being like 17 and Speak Now coming out, and like being like 20 when Red came out, like just it's
Oh,
such an experience.
like that's crazy.
Yeah. And so I feel like Norman and folklore together during that time in my life, like when I was, getting married that year and having a baby, like I just felt like both my girls just like leveled up. They
Oh,
all of a sudden they were so grown, like the lyricism had matured for Lana in crazy ways, and same with Taylor. So it was just like such a special summer. I don't think I will ever musically have a summer that could compare
I
to
mean, yeah.
those.
I mean, Levi always says 2019 is the
2019,
best
2020,
Yeah,
year
just
of
like
music
unbelievable.
insane. Like the fall of
Mhm.
2019, and
to
then
the
like
fall
the
of
stuff.
2020.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just nonstop. Hit, 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 hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, and over time, now that she's kind of reached this level where she has so much respect as an artist and as a songwriter, it's just so special. It's so
Yeah.
cool to like have started off when everyone was kind of like thinking that she was fake, thinking that all of her imagery was like created for her by a record label and everything. And I love seeing her finally have a Lana daughter be born, and that is our girl Addison Rae.
Yep.
Yes.
Money is Everything is literally national anthem. So I love Addison so much. That's been so
How
fun for
many
her to
times
finally.
at work have we gone? And the I have a lot of what's the lyric?
The lyric is,
Money isn't coming with me to heaven, and I got a lot of
but
it.
money's not coming with me to heaven, but I have a lot of it. So good.
You sounded
Can
just
a
like
girl
her
have
when you
fun?
said that,
I think
Melissa.
you died inside when you saw the announcement that Addison was opening and
How many times did I tell you that Addison should open for Lana, and then to just learn that
it
it was
was
happening on the other side, like it was in Europe. Oh my God, it just kills me every time. I can never
you
recover
can't
from
even
that.
yeah, sorry, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have mentioned it.
But I just love, and Billie Eilish talks about her a lot too. Like, there's so many of this younger generation that are now, when they are asked about who inspires them, they talk about her. So that's been so awesome. But for this album, like, musically, sonically, it just puts you in a fucking trance. Like, it is unbelievable. I mean, I can put on Venice Bitch and get in the shower and just listen to Venice Bitch 3 times in a row for 30 minutes, and it will be like, it will literally bring you to heaven.
And then you have to listen to Taco Truck.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good too. Yeah. So. Yeah, and then a lot of what else I was going to say, that Levi talked a lot about. The thing that is so special about her and about this album in particular is this ability that she has to talk about today, and make these cultural references to America today while referencing America from years ago. And really, especially in this album, when she's talking about the 1960s and she's talking about kind of another huge time that America was really like rebelling against what was going on. And so that just, I think that particular combination that she had the ability to do on this album is that cements it for like,
Yeah.
as you know, just so iconic. So yeah, I just
That's it?
the
Oh,
rest I will just let's just talk about these
yeah,
tracks.
the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Well, Melissa, you
Yay!
literally slayed so hard.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, how do you want to do it? Do you want Me's first, Holy Trinity first,
Um,
both at the same
yeah,
time?
sure. Let's do Me's
Me's
first.
first?
Me's
Yeah.
first.
Okay, I'll start it then because I
Yeah.
was the first to go.
So Levi, Maria, me, you was the
Okay.
order.
I
Okay.
do, if I gasp at one of your guys, it's not that I'm like mad at you or anything. It's just that if you say something that shocks me, it might just elicit a
I mean,
gasp.
it's okay.
Yeah.
This is regularly the most tense part of
Yeah, it gets a little tense.
it does get a
Yeah.
little tense. I
It's
really
probably as tense as you listening to it when you're texting me like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
no, I have feared for my life multiple times.
Yeah. It's usually me who creates this
Yeah.
tension. So,
Well, yes.
yeah.
Um, so my me has always been very this has always been my me. It has never wavered. This song, I've I appreciate it more now. There's something very particular about it that just bothers my ears. It's bartender.
No.
And
Is the poetry inside of you warm like a gun, Levi? Are you kidding me?
no, so here, let me tell you, it is like it is literally ear toxins the way that she goes tender to me.
Tender.
It like it makes my skin crawl. It makes my stomach hurt. It makes me cry. It makes me throw up. It's just
I throw up.
it literally is like an icky thing for me. It's like
Yeah.
feeling like gross goo. It's just I just don't like it. I love the lyricism. I mean, I love that line, the poetry. I love that line. I love I bought me a truck.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
Like
lyrics.
I love all of that. Literally, it's her saying bartender. It makes my skin crawl. It's just one of those things for me.
Bartender is so funny too because it is literally the only song besides the title track that was on every set list of that tour. That was the only
Our
song.
girl Lana, she just doesn't know how to make a set list.
No,
I
she
will
doesn't.
never, she just
But you
does.
love that about her.
I love it about her. It's just so crazy.
You love Salvatore on the set list.
I love when she literally
I
had
love
her
that
phone
song.
out reading the lyrics on stage. That's just so her.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So bartender's always been my meme. Maria,
Okay. Oh my God, I'm really
you're
nervous for
scared. You're
this.
nervous.
I'm really nervous. Because the song that's by me has it's been mentioned already, and I'm just scared.
By who?
By
Everyone?
Melissa.
Okay.
So I'm scared, but I'm just gonna go for it. But yeah, as I've been like listening to the album in preparation, it's just been like abundantly clear that like it's definitely just the song that I enjoy the least from like a sonic perspective, but it's the next best American record.
I
Do
think
we
there's
care?
technical issues right now because I don't think they can hear us. So
They
you
reacted also. I'm like, oh, we must not care at all. Wait, do you guys need me to repeat
you guys
myself?
need Maria to say that again.
No, I just, oh my God, I hate that I have to say it
Maria has to
Yes,
relate.
we can hear you now.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh no, they froze. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
The
no.
world does not want you to tell Melissa.
I know the universe is like preventing the knowledge from even like hitting her ears.
No, I mean, she's gonna like send snipers to your apartment.
She's in the building,
If
like
she is in the
literally.
building, yeah, she doesn't have to go that far.
Oh my God. Um,
So what is it
well,
about it for you? It's the Sonic.
yeah. So it feels like a weird mix of like kind of like the hip hop Lana and like the folk Lana, but it feels like they don't really like blend super well on the track for me. Like it feels like a weird mix of like these two kind of like sonic landscapes, and I just don't really I don't really love it that much. So,
It's funny because that is one of the two songs on the album that or one of three songs that Jack didn't touch.
really?
Yeah, it's Doing Time because Doing Time's obviously a cover, but he wasn't one of the
Yeah.
producers. And then he didn't work on the Next Best American Record or Bartender.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Interesting. And
and
honestly, I totally had forgotten that Jack Antonoff was like a huge part of this album. 'Cause yeah, like it is definitely a departure from like what we typically know him for. And especially like at this time when what he would have been known for would have been Bleachers more so. Well, actually, maybe I take that back because like ta being, producing all the Taylor albums, but like I knew him from Bleachers, from like early 2010s.
yeah.
And like you said, it is very like that like big bombastic like 80s kind of synthy style.
Well, and
It's
then you
like what I knew him for.
think about the songs in like 1990 Reputation that he works on, and then think about Melodrama. Like it's just
Yeah.
completely different. But then this makes sense with like the next records that he worked on, because I mean, following this up, he worked on Folklore, which is more of an acoustic sound.
Yeah.
Even though his songs are like the synthier songs. But then like Daddy's Home by St. Vincent, which is like a 70s rock record, Sling by
Uh-huh.
Claro, Solar
There's
Power by Lord. Like those are all like super acoustic folk influenced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, are we back?
We're back.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Literally my laptop went black and like released so much air.
It
So
was
I
like
It farted.
It exhaled.
it exhaled.
Well, so Maria has to say her me for a third time now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, ripping the Band-Aid off, my me is the next best American record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
got a
yeah.
much worse reaction. What the hell?
I know it was almost the first dance song at the wedding. I
This is
was
almost
so
her first
scared.
dance song, and I get my head bitten off for Bartender?
that one. No, it doesn't surprise. I would say it doesn't surprise me.
Mm,
I feel like this very slow pace of Next Best American
Yeah.
Record. It makes sense. I understand.
Yeah.
well, We had
Well, we had it.
it.
Okay, so My Me actually changed from
Oh my God.
last time I talked to you. My Me, I listened to this album this whole weekend. And My Me, because it was Bartender at first,
Mhm.
which, you know, um, but My Me is actually Fuck It, I Love You.
Oh.
Okay.
Um,
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's the least vocally impressive to me. I think she uses that kind of higher register a lot in that song, but to me it's like there are other songs where she uses it where it feels so emotionally motivated,
Mhm.
and it doesn't feel as much as that to me in that
So
song.
yeah, that's actually really accurate because that is like the only song that I can think of that she's ever actually said that that song is like about a friend. It's
Oh,
like not an autobiographical song, like she wrote it about someone else.
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Messiah.
So for me, every single song is literally perfect and needs to be on the record. So there's only one answer, and it's due in time because it's a cover. So
Oh
if we're gonna call it a
no.
cop
But
out,
it's
then we
so
can call it a
good.
cop out. That's fine by me. It's the
Oh,
Dang.
one
I
that if it
love
does,
doing
I
time.
love
so do
it.
I. But yeah,
I mean, this is your Bible.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So
this and
yeah.
Tortured Poets are anthology.
Anthology specifically.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay,
Holy
Holy
Trinity.
Oh
Trinity.
my God.
Yes.
Okay. So this is kind of a gag because since 2019, my Holy Trinity's always been the same three songs. The order's kind of shifted, but
Oh,
it's always been the same three songs. And there's a new bombshell has entered the village because so my number three, well, the song that had been in my number three spot that was a long time my number one song was The Greatest, and now The Greatest has been bumped to number four. I love The Greatest,
Oh.
but I just
whoa.
cannot deny the perfection, the magnetism, the international implications of the title track Norman fucking Rockwell.
Yes.
Like
I'm
it's like
so obsessed.
I finally admitted it to myself at the gym because I was just so hanging on to this fantasy of the greatest, and then I finally admitted to myself like, goddamn man, child, like
That's crazy, Levi. You
Levi's greatest
literally
revelations always happen at the gym.
they do. I kind of
but
did my
it's crazy
philosopher
because The Greatest is a song that I always associate with you
because
because of how
I
much you
love
love
that
it.
song. I love that song. I think it's a genius song, but I like I can't let like truth and reality
Yeah.
be denied, and the title track is just one of those piercing songs. It is so interesting because it makes me really emotional, but like
Hmm.
it's not outwardly like sad. It's actually pretty funny.
Hmm.
It's incredibly witty and clever, and she's making fun of this guy in like a very intelligent, condescending way. Your poetry's bad and you blame the news, but I can't change that and I
So
can't
good.
change your mood. It's incredible. And then this chorus to me is kind of like the thesis statement of her career because you're just a man.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. Your head in your hands as you color me blue. And like the way that she sings
Oh,
blue at
Yeah.
the end, it's like great. And I also just want to real quick shout out one of my favorite lines in this record, which I've always thought is a like wordplay, and I've never seen anybody say it. So it's self-loathing poet, resident Laurel Canyon know-it-all. But I always hear it because it's Laurel Canyon and then know-it-all. But I also feel like there's a bit of wordplay because it's the way she sings it is Laurel can you know it all. And so to me,
Hmm.
it feels like kind of she's both saying Laurel can you know it all and going you know it all, which I just think is really funny. So yeah, that's
and
my
the way she sings that line is
it's so
just
good.
insane. It's insane.
My number two is Happiness is a Butterfly.
Oh, stop.
I know.
Happiness is a Butterfly has a like truly a contender for one of my favorite lyrics of all time. One of
Yep.
maybe my favorite lyric that's not Taylor, which is it truly made me like gasp when I heard it for the first time. And it's if he's a serial killer, then what's the worst that can happen to a girl who's already hurt? Like What the
Like,
fuck?
excuse me.
I wish I could get a count of how many times we've sent that lyric to each other.
It would be in the thousands.
Yeah.
And then I love the melody of the chorus, that kind of like ranty chorus that like Jack does so well. I love like the interplay between the vocals at the end. I love the juxtaposition between the verses and the chorus. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then my number one, it's one of just it's the song to me that like I don't think it's the most obvious song in this record. I think there are songs that are like bigger moments, but it has this atmosphere to it that I have never found in another song. It has my favorite production on the record. Her storytelling is my favorite. It is, again, another one of those songs that just makes me incredibly emotional. It's How to Disappear. The second that
Wow.
that drum starts,
I'm so
and then
gagged right
hear those
now.
like beautiful strings come in, and I think that the imagery that she paints is so wonderful. To me,
Hmm.
this is a song that like is another one of those eulogies to a lost world that like is gone, that
Oh,
she can't get back. Like by the end of the song, when she's saying, "I watch the skies getting light as I write, as I think about those years, as I whisper in your ear, I'm always gonna be right here. No one's going anywhere." And like the fact that like everyone disappeared, because it's been years since she's
oh.
in New York and she's got a kid and two cats in the yard. And like John,
That lyric, I
oh,
thought about that lyric today. Why, Lana, why do you have your cats in the yard?
girl, my cats go in the yard back at home.
Can't they run away?
Well,
Isn't that a
they come
reference?
they come back.
Oh, is it?
I think it's a reference
Oh,
Cats come
to.
back.
got it.
They do. I mean you can't contain a cat, but they roam. They terrorize my neighborhood. But that's what they do. It's
Oh,
just
that's such a good top three.
And like when like the like tambourine comes in and the but I love that man like nobody can. He moves mountains and pounds them to ground again. It's also Drew and I
Mhm.
always talk about how the actual lyric is Joe met me down at the training yard, cuts on his face because he fought too hard. But we both thought that it was always cuts on his face because he fucked too hard.
Yeah, we always thought
Which
that.
somehow
And
feels
I
more
think
Alana
we
than
both will still say it.
yes, that is what we say.
That's what I always heard too. So,
It's just to me, it's one of those special songs that has this just beautiful atmosphere that's
It's
incredibly
insane.
emotional to me that I can't really like put words into. So yeah.
Yeah. It is a reference. I just found it. So it's a reference to Our House, the song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
oh,
And
that's right.
Oh,
they
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house with two cats in the yard. Life used to be so
Yeah, yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah.
oh,
That's a
Wow.
Yeah.
good song.
wow.
And I love the really, really unique perspective of that song. I just don't think I've ever heard another song where a woman is writing about kind of like the experience of her observing um, the behaviors of men and how
Yeah,
they, like the things that they do to avoid having to like deal with feelings and everything.
yeah.
And then when she goes back at the end and says like, now it's been years and I'm gone from New York and now she's kind of like with this dream man in California. It's just
It's
amazing.
it's so like cinematic.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly
Mhm.
That was,
cinematic song.
yeah,
Okay, Miss Maria.
Yay. Okay. So my number three is the title track.
yeah.
So, love her. I think the chorus is just so beautiful, and I love the strings on the song so much, and it's just a great opener too. So, love her.
Mhm.
My number two is actually Doing Time.
Love.
So, yeah, I mean, I just love the vibe of
She,
the song. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like definitely, I mean, and it's the cover, which we know, but I feel like this is the moment of the album where I like probably have the most like fun is listening to this song. So that's probably why it's so high for me. And my number one is Cinnamon Girl.
oh,
Love. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the song so much. It's just so good.
It's so good.
So yeah, I feel like definitely like my favorite moments of the album are just where like it feels the most full, it feels the most kind of like cinematic and like the songs that are like experiences, I feel like are just
Yeah.
the kind of like the highlight for me. So that's my top three.
Oh, love. Okay, my top three has changed since we talked.
Okay.
Yeah, and like how Levi says that his top three was always like pretty set. Mine, I feel like every time I listen, there's like a group of maybe like six or seven songs that rotate.
Hmm.
But at the time, my number three is How to Disappear.
Wow.
I love How to Disappear. It's like, yeah. And then my number two is the title track. Yes, love the title
I
track.
think you guys are going to be mentioning title tracks.
Oh,
So
we
cool.
love title track.
Yes.
And then my number one is a song that hasn't been mentioned. I think it's my favorite Lana Del Rey song ever. I think the melody is insane, production's insane. I think it's the best she sounds on the album. It's Love Song.
Oh, love
You
song.
love that song.
It's
Yeah.
That's
so
like always been your one,
heartbreaking.
right?
Always. That's always been my one.
Hmm.
It's so unbelievable. And it comes in a really heartbreaking spot after doing time and then going into Cinnamon Girl and How to Disappear.
Hmm.
I mean, get out. Get out.
I
Okay,
love it.
Messiah.
Okay. So I think that again, like I said earlier, number one, number two are like such easy choices for me. And then three, I could easily, like five different songs could be like my number three. So I was gonna say title track, so I'm totally gonna say another song. And that is Mariner's Apartment
Yeah.
Complex. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but when you take my sadness out of context. It is, I think that this song lyrically is like a really good example of what puts Lana up against someone like Joni Mitchell. Like it is so beautiful. The thing that is so cool about Lana, where she is so unserious, even though she's so poetic and sad, like when she talks about writing the song, it's so literal. She literally says that she's like on a date with somebody and they come up at an apartment complex and he's like, I see that like we have this connection because we're both so sad. And she was like, you just don't understand me. Like, and that literally happened. And then she wrote a song about it. Something I love so much about her. Like, she's so much more unserious than I think people realize. She can just take anything and turn it into literally Walt
Yeah.
Whitman. Like, she's amazing. Number two is what I personally believe, and I think is a very common if you would go up to all the Lana Gators and ask what is her best lyrical song, like what is her best songwriting to ever exist in her whole discography. A lot of people would say the song. So there's no question about it. It is Hope is a Dangerous Thing for a Girl Like Me to Have, but I have it. That song is unbelievable. I think
You love that.
it is right up there with her most introspective song up against like Fingertips probably would be like her other like deepest song about her and about her life. And I just like it's unbelievable. 24/7 Sylvia Plath like writing with blood on her walls because the ink in her like whatever that line is unbelievable. Um it's so good. So yeah, I love that song. And I love when she says that she is shaking her ass is the only thing what is the line? Actually, I wish I had it in front of me.
Shaking.
Um, she's
We're
talking,
finding.
yeah, sorry about that. She says, shaking my ass is the only thing that's got this black narcissist off my back. So that lyric actually created a lot of drama at the time because she had been in like a Twitter fight with Azalea Banks recently, and people were taking that line like really literally and thought that she was talking about Azalea Banks. But really, like, it doesn't actually make sense in the full line that she'd be talking about her there. But she is using it as a metaphor of depression when she says black narcissist.
Oh,
So she
okay.
says like performing on stage is the only thing to like,
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah. So
That
that's
makes the
really
next lines
beautiful.
interesting when she's like, she couldn't care less and I couldn't care more. Like she's like talking about
Yeah.
part of herself as like a third person. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that song so much.
Okay.
And then my number one is my favorite Lana song of all time, and it is Happiness is a Butterfly.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
there's
yay.
just never, I just can never describe to you the feeling of listening to that song.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane. I feel like
Is
Levi
she
explained
a
it pretty
liar? Because
well.
has she ever performed that song live? Because she literally sings, sing it live, sing it for my babies
See
on
it
the
from me.
tour live. Which has she ever done that?
No,
I
no.
don't think.
On the Norman tour, no.
Yeah.
Like that's
no.
literally the
Unfortunately, no.
song. She could have not put that in there.
Yeah.
Also, tell
Yeah. It's
Coachella.
almost as bad as when she headlined Coachella and she did not sing her song Coachella Woodstock on My Mind. That
She
is the
probably
best
forgot that she
example.
had it.
She
Yeah.
forgot.
And then one more really fun fact that I learned while I was doing this research. It was so funny because me and Drew really joke around a lot about this part of her recent like European tour this summer where she is singing, but you look up at the stage and it's a hologram of her. Um, for like half of at least I think a whole song is actually her in a hologram.
Oh my
So it's
God.
not her on stage. And I was reading this really old article about her talking about how she has such a hard time performing because she did for many years. Like she talks about how she doesn't actually like she has trouble with it. And it was like a year that Tupac had been on a hologram on maybe like on the Grammy stage or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, made a joke with the interviewer and was like, that hologram, that's going to be the future of my tours, probably. And the journalist is like, she was only half joking. And it's like, she was literally serious.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
Well,
Wow.
we gotta get out the
Amazing.
utensils.
yes.
We need to come up with what have you thought of a utensil that you resonate with?
Um, what?
For Drew Fork, Maria Spoon, Levi Knife.
I've never considered that. No. I'm sorry.
I was
Wow.
thinking Melissa Mittens.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh,
You
love
know,
the
like mini, like
Yeah.
oven mitts that you take out of
Melissa Mitt.
Melissa Mitts.
Love
Oh,
that.
that's good. Okay,
That's
okay.
really good.
yes.
Okay,
So
well,
I think the Melissa Mitts should go first.
Melissa Mitt. I mean,
Okay. I mean, there's literally no question about it. It's a 10.0.
10.
Yeah,
10. Yep.
10, obvious 10.
10.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Drew Fork.
I mean, Drew Fork gets a 10.
Oh my God, yes. I just wanted one other 10 that was gonna make me feel better.
Oof. Okay.
Oh, don't be rude. Don't be
Yeah.
fucking rude. Maria.
Maria
Um,
Tank.
guys,
Yeah, you're gonna hold my hand and take
guys.
this.
Um, okay. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with my first initial instinct, which is still a good score. But for me, this is 8.6.
Okay.
That's a good score.
That's a great score.
So yeah. I always feel literally the scores it makes me feel crazy every time, especially when I know that this is Bible for like everyone here except for me. So I'm like, but yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, and I mean it's a 10. Like
Yeah,
it just
it's a
on the
10.
Oh my
fucking
God.
floor. Like I just don't know what else to say.
Yep.
Okay, so with all four of our scores, this is an average score of 9.65.
Okay, that's
Whoa,
Is
so
that
good.
higher
top
than
five?
Pitchfork.
Does that go top five for you guys?
Wait, is this the highest ever? No, no, it's not the highest ever.
Because
Joni had
Joni is like, well,
9.8.
yeah.
Yeah.
His blue is 9.86.
You guys recently had one come close to
Desire
blue,
was
right?
9.38.
Desire.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
desire.
I mean, so this is up there. This is in the same conversation as like, because this is 9.65. Folklore is a 9.76. Renaissance is a
Ooh.
9.66. So like this is just like really right on
Yeah.
score with Renaissance.
I
So
mean, deserved.
yeah. Wow.
Oh, well,
Melissa,
Melissa,
So
thank you so
much.
much.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful to have been able to do this. I am one of those fans that does wake up on Wednesday morning, get in my car for my commute, and I go straight to Spotify and I get my popcorn.
She's an Apple Music listener, but for
Yes.
Spotify, she
That's
Yes. For
podcast.
podcasts, I go for Spotify.
Oh.
But yeah, this has been so fun. I loved the experience of like doing research on Lana and like just being able to, go into Norman world for like a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Well,
So,
if whatever album she wants to put out ever comes out,
yeah.
you need to.
Or if you guys ever, I don't know, consider Evermore as maybe something that you would ever consider reviewing.
We will do. I love Evermore. I don't hate Evermore. I just resist the propaganda.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Well, Maria,
Okay.
how are we closing off August?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for our last episode of August, we're going to be bringing one of my best friends in the entire world on the pod, who has actually been name dropped quite a bit because we actually have a running joke of him being like our entire tech department, which doesn't exist. So, like, you may remember earlier episodes where we would be like, Wyatt, edit that out, or like, Wyatt's going to edit that in post. And fun fact, there is no post that we just,
Yeah. There's no post.
So.
Well, there is a post, and that post is Bjork's second studio album.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Clear about that.
Yeah, well, so yeah, noted for the future when we definitely eventually do an episode about Post. But so for the final episode, we're gonna be bringing my friend Wyatt onto the pod, and he is a huge Dua Lipa stan. So we're gonna be talking about future nostalgia.
Yay!
Love.
Yay! So yeah,
Woo.
super excited.
Exciting.
Everybody get into that.
Yay. Okay, Melissa.
Okay, I gotta go tear around in my fucking nightgown.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna go serve some cherry Coke.
Oh, I'm gonna go have hope, which is a dangerous thing
For a
For a
woman
woman
like
like
for
you
a
to
woman
have.
like me to have,
But you
but
got
I
it.
got it.
Yeah.
That you have it. Well, I'm gonna go do time.
Oh, so good.
That was
Okay.
good.
All right.
Bye, Pop
Bye,
Girlies.
Shanti.